What is going on, everybody? It is Mike. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, and that is iPad stands. This is the MagFloat from Chargin. It is an iPad stand for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, 11-inch iPad Pro, as well as the 10.9-inch iPad Air 4th and 5th generation. Now, this iPad stand retails for $149. You can often find it for $129, which is what they're selling it for today. I think today is May 21st, Saturday. So this iPad stand is unique and novel, I think, for a couple reasons. So one, it's very, I would say, premium material. This is all machined aluminum. It sounds actually really nice. It is very heavy, coming in at 1.5 pounds. This back plate here is magnetic, and you can attach your iPad here, which we'll go through in just a minute, to it, but then you can also rotate it 180 degrees, and then you can tilt it backwards and forwards, giving you a lot of, I think, new use cases that you might not have been able to do with previous iPad stands. So today, we're gonna go ahead and set it up. We're gonna see how closely it resembles the Studio Display, the XDR display, and even the iMac. So let's get started. Now, just so you and I are on the same page, the folks over at Chargin did send this out to me free of charge, meaning I didn't pay for it. Also, they did not ask me to review it, so I'm reviewing this of my own accord. They have no type of influence about what I'm about to tell you here in the next few minutes. So just keep that in mind while you're watching this, because obviously this is $149. It's not cheap by any means, but depending on what I would say that your inclination is for premium accessories and what you're trying to achieve in either your desk setup or your setup in general, this may or may not work for you. So as I mentioned here, it is 1.5 pounds. It is machined aluminum. So when you get it, you actually have to attach the base to the arm here with some hex screws that are inside of here. And it does come with a tool to insert that or to attach that. Once you attach the plate to the arm, you attach the back plate to this, which is really how everything works. Now, this back plate is magnetic, meaning that your iPad Pro or your iPad Air will stick to the back of this very easily. And it simply attaches to your iPad, or your iPad simply attaches to it, using the magnet array that's on the back here. Now, I have the Pitaka MagEZ Slim case on here, which doesn't necessarily matter, and it does just attach to it like so. Now, if you look here at the back, you see here's the back plate, then here's the bottom that's exposed. So it is covering here. Now, if I wanted to, I could rotate this very easily, 180 degrees. I could also, if I wanted to, I could tilt it back towards you, tilt it back towards me. And here, there we go. This is obviously a pass-through here. It does come with a 6-foot-long USB-C cable that is designed for charging, which is angled. So when you plug it in the back of here, it's gonna wrap around the back and it will be threaded, or it could be threaded right through this here, giving you a nice, clean setup look for this. What I like about it is that I could use this and I could put it on my desk, I could put it back here, and I could put it next to my display, and it's gonna allow me to use sidecar and universal control very easily because of the way that it's good height for that. Also, if I say I don't even have a Mac, or I'm just gonna use it by itself, I can also put this on my desk and have it set up for me where it's a good viewing angle. I could watch TV, I could watch FaceTime with someone. I could actually very easily communicate if I was playing a turn-based game on my PlayStation, where I could then turn this over, allow the next person to play, turn it back. It does function very well. And I do appreciate iPad stands, and really accessories in general, that have high build quality, that are made very well. They have premium materials. They also have kind of multi-use, so I'm not just stuck using something in a single configuration or even with a single accessory. And it just overall, the aesthetic matches what I like. Now, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is this worth $149? Now, I know a lot of you are right now saying, are you crazy? I would never spend that kind of money on this iPad stand. At $149, it does include the 6-foot-long USB-C cable. That's not necessarily a tremendous amount of cost. It might cost like 20 or 30 bucks. If you're finding that, you could probably find them on Amazon for maybe 10 or 15 bucks if you're buying an inexpensive brand. But I would say that there's a couple novel features that you'll need to evaluate whether it's worth it, like the tilt, the rotation, and the build quality. But outside of that, if I was paying $149 for this, I think it really depends on where you are at in your iPad journey. Specifically, if I was nearing the end of my iPad life cycle, I was going to maybe upgrade to a new version when it comes out in the end of the summer or in the fall, I would probably hold off on it. And this is my logic. For me, I just bought this iPad Pro last year. I'm probably gonna keep it another year or two. As long as I suspect that the new iPad Pro is gonna have the same kind of magnet array, the same design, I'm gonna be okay if I'm not gonna buy it right away. If you just bought a brand new iPad, if you bought the 2021 iPad Pro like I have here, or even the 5th generation iPad Air 5, if you're gonna keep that device for 2, 3, 4 years, there's a pretty good chance that this is gonna be worth it for you, and I'll explain. So if I'm going to keep this iPad for 4 years, I take 365 days per year and times that by 4, I get roughly 1,460 days in that time frame. So that means I would have this iPad stand for 1,460 days. If I take the total cost of $149 and divide that by 1,460, I get roughly a cost of about 10 cents per day to own this. So if I'm thinking about how much does it cost me per year to own this iPad stand costs $36.50, 10 cents a day times 365 days, which isn't really a bad deal, especially depending if you use your iPad every day, it's in this stand and it's part of your setup. If you're not going to use your iPad every day, if you're not going to keep it in the stand, well then those are things that you'll need to decide on and figure out whether or not it's worth it in your setup. But I would say at 10 cents a day, not really a bad deal, especially if I use it every day as part of my iPad setup that I'm using on my desk. Now, if I'm not using the iPad in the stand every day, well, maybe that's something I would need to reconsider. If I'm using it as a secondary display with sidecar or universal control, you get a little bit more value out of it. So that's how I would approach the problem. But I want to know from you, what do you think about the MagFloat from Chargin? Is it worth your $149? Comment down below, and if you made it this far, would you comment the Shamrock? That would be nice to know who made it to the end of the video. My name is Mike. This is Tech 24/7 TV. Folks, I'll catch you in the next one.